opening statement?
Opening statement. Well, what a game, wasn't it? I think that in a 1.5-day turnaround, the execution of our game plan today it wasn't flawless, but it was as close to perfect as I could ask for in a really short turnaround, doing things that we don't normally do. You couldn't play two different teams in a weekend. You know, you play super up-tempo against St. Francis, where we have to score 95 points and be in a track meet, and then you play Robert Morris, who is really methodical. They really execute well and do a lot of things through their best player, Artemis, who is a phenomenal player. So I think having to go from one extreme to the other, it was a mental challenge, but then we showed up ready to play, and I couldn't have asked for a better start to the game. So I think that really sold the team in terms of how we can play and who we can play with, and from that point on, there was so much confidence. I was pretty happy with the result, obviously.
So you got, from these two, obviously 50 points combined. How did you see these guys perform, and what did you think of their performance?
Well, I was like a fan on the sideline. I thought that execution-wise, you know, Gabby's feeling really, really good right now about herself. I think she's finally back, and she is playing really, really well. She has a lot of confidence coming into conference after she struggled a little bit in the non-conference in really trying to find her identity and her role on the team. And so I think she's really done a good job as an upperclassman taking over and really showing that she's a leader on the floor and our go-to on the floor. And then, obviously, Hannah hasn't played organized basketball in 2 years, and so she's really only 2.5 months into full swing of basketball, and she is, every single time she does something in a game, every single time she shows up in practice, she just shows me how much more she's capable of doing. Her learning curve has been so fast and so high, and I'm really, really pleased with how she's continued to come along with her shot selection and the way she aggressively attacks the basket. She does not hesitate for a second, so they're doing great things.
Well, you led me to that question, Hannah. Obviously, 18 today, career high. You missed the last couple of years. So you think you're finally back? You ready to roll now?
Yeah, I think finally. It does take a little bit, but yeah, I finally feel like hitting shots. Makes me feel good, so yeah.
And Gabby is back-to-back 30-point games. Obviously, you're shooting the ball well. As Coach said, you struggle a little bit maybe in the non-conference. What are you seeing out there? And you're just on fire, or what?
Well, honestly, going into every game, I just know that it's a fight. You know, some of the younger kids don't really know the teams, and they don't know the players, and they don't realize what they're really up against. But some of the older players, we're just like, we know these teams, and we're like, it's a battle every time. It's personal at this point. It's not, oh, we're playing a team. Let's. I wonder, you know, what they do. No, it's personal. So, you know, every game, it's going to be a fight.
Can I ask you a question? Did you close your eyes and shoot again in your first shot?
Yep. Every time. And I go.
She does. I tried to see you, but your back was to me. I was like, if she closed her eyes again.
I did.
Coach, 2-0 in the conference against probably two of the better teams in the conference. Obviously, an interesting way to start the season, playing back-to-back home against two pretty good teams. What's clicking right now, and how do you feel moving forward?
I think we're finally understanding how important it is to play as a team and to defensively bring it every single game. You know, I asked them at the end of our non-conference, how do we want to be known? What does our team identity want to be? And all of them, without question, sat actually in this room and said, we play well if our defense is doing what it's supposed to do. We play well if we bring it, if we have great ball pressure, if our press is working, we are going to play a great game. So I think finally they've really embraced that identity. And then system-wise, offensively, I think they're really understanding how to get the ball in the hands of the right person, how to really isolate and see the mismatches. I think that it really took 9 or 10 games in the non-conference of some struggle to understand what's going to work for us, and so we just have to keep building from here. But I'm very pleased. 2-0 in conference against really tough teams with very, very good players is exciting, and so I just want to keep our sights set always on the next game because that's always the most important.
All right, final question for me. Probably one of the best players in the conference, Artemis Manu. What did you try to do defensively establish? She still had a pretty good game, but what did you try to do?
Yeah, well, what do you think, guys? We kind of tried everything.
We tried everything. We tried doubling. We tried tripling.
Yeah, she's a dynamite player. I even said to her in the line after the game, I was like, you are an outstanding basketball player. She's crafty. She can hit the three. She plays inside well. So I thought Hannah did a really, really good job on her today. You know, she had 22 points, but everybody else we shut down for the most part. So Hannah really held down the fort for us. I think at one point we switched somebody off onto her, and I was like, no, Hannah, go back in. You're going to guard her. And then Gabby doubled and dug and played her role in terms of executing our game plan. And so I think it was a really cohesive team effort that we tried to either limit her or only allow her to get her points and limit everybody else.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.